So, story time, real story time. So, I am standing in line at a store, okay, and I'm getting ready to check out. And I have my items in my hands, and out of my peripheral vision, like I can see somebody else coming up behind me. It was a woman coming up behind me, and I think she was probably with her daughter, or it could have been like her niece. And like the girl looked like she was probably in her teens. And then with them was also another little girl. Okay, so I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm thinking, okay, she's the next person in line. And so I'm just standing there, minding my own business and just kind of waiting patiently. And all of a sudden, I hear someone say, ma'am, ma'am. So I'm thinking, okay. So I turn around, and all of a sudden, all I saw was bam. Okay. The woman behind me was handing me this card. Okay. Yeah. She was handing me this card. Okay. So immediately, she was like, okay, well, hey, I do hair, and this is my business, this is my card, and blase, 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 right? So I immediately, when I saw the card, you know, bam, in my face, I immediately looked. I didn't even look her in her face, okay? I immediately looked at her hair. And of course, she had the typical weave in her head, and I think I saw a little glue on her forehead or something. I think I saw the tracks or something. And mind you, I'm deliberately looking at her hair because at this point, I'm wanting her to know, hey, look, don't you see me with this natural hair? Okay, does it look like I would be interested in weaves and wigs because I don't do weaves and wigs? Okay, so she see me, looking up instead of at her eyes. Okay, I'm looking up at her hair, and I'm like, oh, looking at the picture, and I'm looking at her hair, and I'm looking at the picture. I'm avoiding on purpose eye contact with her because I want her to know that I think you're trying to be shady. I think you're trying to say something about my natural hair. Now, I could have been reaching. I don't know. But she never told me that she did natural hair. Okay, and maybe it was my bad that I didn't ask. Maybe I should have asked her, well, hey, do you special, like, do you do natural hair? Because I'm not really interested in weaves and wigs. I'm just not. I'm not interested in weaves and wigs. So why are you handing me this card? Like when you walked up behind me, you saw my tightly coiled hair from behind. You made a conscious decision to go in your purse, walk off to the side, do whatever you had to do, and get your card out and bam it in my face. So I'm thinking, hey, is she trying to be funny? Are you saying you don't do natural hair? Are you saying there's something wrong with, my natural hair, or you could possibly help me out with? Because mind you, there were other people in line. There were other people milling around the store. And after we finished our conversation, I kind of observed her to see if, hey, would she go approach somebody else? And there was like another woman with a very, very short, like shaved. Her hair was like shaved really short. But a lot of people were walking by with braids, and there was some people walking by with wigs and weaves on. So maybe she felt like she didn't have to approach them. But my thing is, don't assume that, okay, just because a lot of people in this vicinity are wearing weaves and wigs, that the person that you're standing behind who has natural hair wants to be wigified or weaveified, because not everybody wants that. I just felt like it kind of offended me in a way, because it's like, what are you trying to say about my hair? Like, you don't do natural hair? You didn't mention to me that you don't do natural hair, that you do or do not do natural hair, which would have been the first thing that would have came out of my mouth had that been me. I would have been like, hey, I know there's a picture of a lady. You can't even see her face. She has so much weave in her head. But I do natural hair too. I also specialize in natural hair. So, and she probably would have had some business, probably. I probably would have looked her up and called her and made an appointment. I don't know, but for her not to even broach the subject or tell me that she liked my hair, natural, was another thing. So I don't know. Maybe I was reading too much into it. I don't know. I just felt some kind of way about it. I know that much. And yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Do you guys feel like I was pushing it, or was I reading too much into it? Like, I've never had that happen to me before. So it's just, I don't know, it just kind of played on my feelings a little bit. It kind of, I was kind of like in my feelings a little bit about it, because of the way, it happened. I mean, look at that, look at that. So I don't know. I thought I would just jump on here and, have any of you guys had that happen to you where somebody just, they don't even they don't even tell you anything about your hair, but they assume that, hey, I'm just going to give you my card. Or, I mean, because we all know how this natural hair thing goes. There are some that likes it. There are some that hate it. There are some that are in the middle. But if you're trying to boost your business and you're trying to get someone to um, call you up and you're promoting your business, you might want to be a little bit more friendly towards the person you're trying to get coins from, okay? I'm just saying. Do any of you have any similar stories to that? Has anything like that happened to any of you guys? Just drop it in the comment section below. But in the meantime, so my whole reaction to this was, bye, Felicia.